Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Kryptocraft with your host, Nighthawk. We're going to take a quick look at the tree farm that we built last episode, and it's working pretty well. I have refilled the fertilizer, and it seems like the dirt does get used slowly over time, so I've added a little bit to it here and there, but overall it's working pretty well, and is supplying us with lots of saplings and wood and apples to use for our power system that we have running now. I've moved the power system down. So actually let's stop off here real quick because it seems that we've had a squid die in the doorway. Grab those. I've shuffled a bunch of things around here. We've got our power, it's kind of a relay cell going up to the top levels of the tower. This will need to get changed out to higher capacity stuff before too long, I think. And I moved the water back and made it so water goes down as well. And then we also have a hardened energy cell that acts as a larger buffer for the top levels of the tower. And down here, I've been doing all sorts of stuff. I've got an ME system up and running with applied Energistics. I'm going to try to avoid just recording all sorts of stuff that's, kind of the tedious things, and record cool things, I guess. But and then we'll kind of walk through the more complex stuff, I guess, depending on what happens to be going on. Anyway, over here I've got a series of steam engines, steam dynamos. Each of these dynamos produces 80 RF per tick. All of the dynamos, no matter what type, are going to produce this 80 RF per tick. There are rumors that there's going to be some upgrades that let them produce more. And then I've got up here a ME interface that is exporting charcoal into the dynamos. So that keeps them stocked with charcoal. I've got a recipe that cooks the logs into the charcoal, which is going through this interface. So that takes care of all of the steam dynamos, and then we have the water coming down from above that fills all of these dynamos up. And then on this side, I have a series of compression dynamos, and again, all of these produce 80 RF per tick. So right now, I've got a total of 10 dynamos, so 800 RF per tick that I can produce. And that's currently split up between several different energy cells that are here. They've got this energy cell that's powering these devices here. I've got an energy cell right here that keeps the ethanol production going. We'll get to that in a second. I've got an energy cell here that's powering these machines that I'm using for... I've got a magma crucible, I've got a fluid transposer, working on making another redstone energy cell here coming up. And I've got an induction smelter, so all of these are powered by this cell. And then I've got a cell hiding down here that is powering the entire applied energistics systems. I've also got this energy cell, which is an applied energistics energy cell, and that's just to give a larger power buffer for the ME system in case, something weird happens. And then over here, this is the ethanol production line, and it starts with a squeezer that takes apples and squeezes them into fruit juice. I seem to be out at the moment. The apple production, I had over a barrel full of apples, and it seems to have used a lot of apples. So I might be looking for a different, or maybe just a way of supplementing the apples for power production. So the apples get squeezed into mulch and fruit juice. The fruit juice and mulch get pushed over into this fermenter where they're joined with saplings. And then the saplings get fermented into biomass, which is then passed over to these two stills. And I made a second one because it was taking forever to fill up these dynamos. So I just made the second one to kind of add a little bit more pep to the whole process. I've got room right here for another dynamo, and there's room for another steam dynamo at the end here. And then I've used all sorts of different little micro blocks to make it look a little bit nicer in here so that I don't have to be walking on top of the pipes and power conduits and everything. Kind of cleans up the look a little bit. So that's where we're at right now. And if we come over here, you can see I've got a whole bunch of additional Applied Energistics crafting components. So we're going to get some stuff out of our hotbar here and move these into it. And what we're going to do is expand our crafting system here into a 5x5x3 system. As you can see, I've already got the back area opened up. All of these barrels have storage interfaces attached to them. There's also a couple of barrels up at the smeltery layer of the tower, and there's also some chests and different things hanging around to kind of augment the storage here. I do have right here an ME drive with a couple of storage devices in it. I need a whole bunch more of these, really. I might need to make some smaller ones just to augment the item count, because that's really the biggest thing that I'm short on right now is different item types. So, got to think about that. One challenge I'm having is the Certus quartz. It is not common enough for my taste, but such is life. So what we need to do, I want to expand this to be a 5x5 grid. This is probably going to make the Applied Energistics system a little bit unhappy while I'm doing this construction work, but that's the price of progress. So we are going to start. We're going to start by putting the containment walls for the top. If we can do this. Oh, that turns it off already, so there's that. And there's that part. Let's reclaim these parts that we have in the middle here. Oops, didn't want that one. So we basically need to create a new border and fill in all of the extra space with these vents. Now, this will be the first time I've made one of these larger than the minimum size, so I'm hoping that I'm doing this right. There's that. And I'm adding to this system, I'm putting in more crafting CPUs and more pattern providers. And I want to do this in kind of a fun pattern just because it makes no difference whatsoever, but we're going to do it anyway. Put these in like so. Add those. Bring this over. One more of those, and there we go. So now we have 5 pages of these pattern providers, so lots more room for all of the various patterns, and a much larger crafting device. And this should also craft considerably faster, especially on the complex systems. And it really didn't add too much to the power consumption. I think it's about 8 or 10 AE per tick more for this larger crafting device. The next expansion that we do for this, instead of making it wider and deeper, we'll go up a layer. So I'm going to add at least one layer to it eventually. And it's not too hard for me to do that now, because I just go crafting CPU, and I just tell it I want however many of those I need, and it just gets to crafting them, so that makes it so much easier. If we look at craftable items, there's all sorts of stuff in there. So, the next thing I really need is more Certus quartz, because all of the applied energistics stuff needs it at some level. And it's really slowing me down not having more. So that's my next goal. Unfortunately, the only way to get it besides outside of breeding bees is digging through caves, and I've been doing a ton of that, and I've still not been finding enough to keep my desires supplied. Let's look at this again. Look at all of the stuff being powered on our AE system now. Got a whole boatload of cables. I'd made this one fuzzy storage bus because I was hoping I could just tell it all ores could go in one chest, but without having to specify each one individually, but that doesn't seem to have worked the way I wanted it to, unfortunately. So, with that, I think that is going to do it for today. My next tasks, I think, will be to extend this system. Probably the next couple of things that are going to happen here is I'll probably extend the power system. Take this redstone energy conduit. This is the good conduit that will take 10,000 RF per tick, and I think this will get extended up to the B level. And along with that, I'm going to take... Well, here's what I'm trying to decide what's the best way of doing this is. I either need to take the applied energistics cable all the way up there as well, or I need to make a couple of wireless access points and just use wireless access for it. And I'm not sure which of those is going to be better. I want to do wireless eventually. I just don't know if I'm ready to... if I have the resources to power that effectively yet. And I don't really want to have to carry around the wireless access device all the time either. But maybe I can just stick one in a chest up there that I can just grab whenever I need it. For now, though... Oh, actually, let's go upstairs before we wrap this up. Because we were up here briefly, but we didn't really look at one of the spots these cables go through, and it's kind of funny. So if we come over here, you can see these chests there. The area behind them is kind of open a little bit. Those chests are on the ME system. If we come back here, you can see the devices here, and then these all go up to the smeltery. And then instead of running the item duct all the way down to the power basement, I just put an interface up here and had it go into that interface. And since I was bringing the cable up anyway, that makes it a whole lot easier to work with. So there's how that works. Now, the biggest drawback to taking the applied energistics all the way up is that I can't use... And there's the rain. I can't use the microblocks to cover it up. So, at least not in the same block space. It's not multi-part compatible right at this point. So I have to bury it in... I have to sandwich it in between wall segments. And I didn't build the rest of the tower up with that bulk. I only did the bottom wall thicker like that. So I don't have anywhere to to actually hide that cable from here up to any higher levels in the tower. So that's perhaps a little bit unfortunate. I guess while we're here, let's take a look and see. Look at all these flowers. Let's go ahead and breed our bees. And I think that's going to do it for today. I hope you guys enjoy these perhaps a little bit shorter episodes. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Bye!